Welcome to Eurobike 2024, the world's biggest bike show, and in this video I'm bringing some of the best bikes on display at this show. And let's start with a brand new Giant Revolt. So today Giant have launched Gen 4 of their Revolt gravel bike. We now have full internal routing because that's popular these days, down to storage for your snacks and tools and a few other changes. It's still a 53mm tire clearance, still the flip chip in the dropout, the same kind of silhouette, same drop rear stays, and the same Defy technology, the D-shaped seat post and the handlebar designed to give more compliance and comfort. Cutting a hole in the frame is a challenge in making sure it's structurally sound and it doesn't add weight.
Yes, absolutely. So, of course, with this opening, we had to reinforce all the outside and have more carbon on it. And but we could save weight because we have a new construction on the back. And that kind of links to the whole frame weight because initially the old Revolt from model year 22 had an aluminum dropout, yeah, and this is now a full carbon dropout.
I see, okay.
So we could shave off weight here and give a little bit more stiffness, but then we had to add, of course, a little bit weight there. But overall, the frame weight is about the same.
Okay.
Even though with the opening.
So there's space in there for inner tubes and CO2 and
Exactly.
And up to the front we have internal routing with the cables or brake hoses underneath the stem, like on the Defy, like on the TCR, like on the Propel. So that's a brand new Giant Revolt. Can't wait to get my hands on one to test. To be honest, it looks very similar to the old bike, and I imagine it rides very similar as well. But I like some of the updates, like down tube storage and internal cable routing. Tire clearance is the same. Whether that's enough at 53, you can decide. So let me know by leaving a comment down below. But I am worried about the lack of a UDH hanger. I don't know whether enough people, myself included, make use of that flip chip on the dropouts. It's a nice idea in theory, but when I rode the old Revolt, I didn't really use it that much. I set it and forget it. So not sure whether that's a good move personally, but we'll see how the market plays out and what your reaction to this bike is. And you let me know by leaving a comment down below. So, brand new bike, what's special about this new Spear?
Definitely we want to start the most special ones, the winged eye structure. What is makes it so special is it's very functional. It has a vertical compliances, act like a suspension structure, right? And also it help smoothen the airflow, so creating like an escape zone when air passed through your leg and eject out.
Okay. And
I think Spear is also very lightweight, and given it a very stiff bottom bracket for 100% power transfer. We designed this bike to be lightweight, aero, and agility.
When you say lightweight, what are we talking about with frame weight or bike weight?
Yeah, so frame only, without paint, 685 grams.
Wow.
With shadow black, medium size, 30 grams. Yeah.
Very light.
Yes, very light. All the hardwares. So we also designed hardwares to be fitted for the frames. So all the bolts here is either titanium or aluminum. So bolts are titanium, steam bolts, seat post clamps, saddle clamp bolts. Rear derailleur is bolts are all titanium. This is machined aluminum piece. So we're definitely saving a lot of weight, not only on the frame but also the accessories.
Yes. And you have a new handlebar.
Yes, brand new Rapier handlebars.
Yeah, one piece.
One piece.
Aero, carbon.
Yes. So when we explain the one piece, it's not only that the steam and the bars are together one piece. It's also about how we manufacture it. The whole bar is manufactured with one piece of big mold, so that is more integrated, more rigidity.
Okay.
So yeah, it's definitely one piece technology of making the bar. Also the same with the frame. It's one piece mold.
Okay. And we have a flare in the drop.
Yes.
And
25 millimeters wider in the drop.
And I think we mentioned before that when you buy a frame or bike, you can choose the stem length,
yes,
handle width. Is that still correct?
Yes. also the seat post setback.
I see post setback.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So every accessories is supposed to be, flexible for consumers, for customers. Definitely, that's what we want. We want our geometries work for the riders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And cool paint job, we have to say.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. How many options on paint for the new Spear?
Right now, this is one of the 2 limited edition, but it's already sold out.
Sold out. Wow. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
but we have designers work with more paints.
Okay.
We want it to be special. We want it to be fresh and unique to represent the riders.
Okay.
Sometimes the feeling, sometimes the moods. But we have some non-limited edition standard ones.
Okay.
3 standard colors for the RDC and 2 for the standard model, which is non-RDC.
So you launched this at Shanghai Bike Show, I believe?
Yes.
We're at Eurobike now.
Yes.
So it's available, it's on sale.
It's going to be soon available for Europe market as well as UK.
Okay.
Yes, so we are doing more plannings with more shops joining our dealer array. So better service provided for riders. But also we're gonna try to make a web shop.
Yeah.
So it's direct to consumer, but we also take care of good customer service.
Okay. Very exciting. I look forward to seeing it in the UK.
Yeah.
Hopefully on a channel very soon.
Yeah.
So I found the maddest bike at Eurobike. That one there, the latest creation by him over there, Dangerholm. You might recognise some of the crazy builds on Scott bikes. This is an e-bike. You wouldn't know it under the distressed steampunk look. Crazy bike.
Crazy bike.
What's the idea behind that? Where did it start and how do you get to where it is now?
Well, I've always liked the aesthetics of the Mad Max movies. And
Mad Max.
Worn and battered, crazy vehicle creations that they have. And I sort of just wanted to have that for myself in a bike. So yeah, that was the main goal with this. Make it look like something out of a Mad Max movie.
Okay. You've got some cool details. One that stands out are the sawtooth disc brakes.
Yeah.
Did they actually work or are they just for looks?
They work, but maybe not well. I'm not sure how the pad wear will be in the long run. But
And you put some guards on just for safety as well.
Exactly. They're not UCI approved.
Okay. And on this side we have another cool bike as well.
Yeah.
Where's the idea come from for your creation? Do you have like a kernel of an idea and then that spawns where you go, or do you have a direction from Scott, or do they give you free blank canvas to do what you want?
Blank canvas.
Wow, okay.
So that is very generous of them because sometimes the projects are quite crazy, and often it's like a conceptual idea I have, and I want to take something great and make it even better. So for this bike especially, I've been on a journey for many years with cable integration and making clean looks for mountain bikes. So here I had an idea of cable integration in a new user-friendly way. And Synchros actually made this like an R&D project. So it's a fully rideable 3D printed aluminium carbon combo. So
in a way you're pushing the company to develop a product to meet your needs.
So it started with me actually making a wooden prototype of this handlebar, and here it is in the flesh, like an actual rideable product.
Wow.
So that was quite a journey and really cool.
Is weight a factor? Are you a weight weenie? Do you care about what? Some of your bikes are super light, so weight is a bit of a priority, but not always.
No, exactly. I mean, I guess that since I'm now in the position to build a few more bikes than in my bike shop days when I just had to pay for everything myself and could afford one per year.
Yeah.
Now I can be at the liberty to do some super performance or weight focused builds, but also look into things like visuals and appearance and design and stuff like this. So that's why I sometimes care about weight a lot, and sometimes it's more of a side priority.
Okay. Where does it start then? Where does it come from? This desire, obsession perhaps, for creating custom one-off bikes?
I've just sort of always done it.
Okay.
Me and my friends when we were kids, when we outgrew our old 16-inch BMX bikes, we spray painted them and just trying to make them look cool, and always wanted small little upgrades for the bikes and stuff like this. And then when I was 14, I started working extra hours at the local bike shop, and I got access to that.
Okay.
and started earning some money. And every long Swedish winter, I built a bike for the next season. So here we are a few years later.
So you're quite a creative person, and you're artistic. Does that help?
I wanted to become a car designer, like industrial designer, but that didn't happen. Yeah. But obviously there is some creative elements here, so now I have my outlet here in the bikes, I guess.
Okay. What's next? Can you give us a glimpse of what you're working on next, or is that top secret for your next project? Was there anything like you haven't done yet that you think is
No,
achievable?
I think that, I mean, it's a good question. I have a few projects, maybe none that are like completely revolutionary, but it's more like continually improving on the ideas and concepts that I like. I mean, some people say that my bikes look too much the same, like it's always lightweight or it's always integration. But I like to say, like, you know, some bands and musicians, they find their sound and they go with it, but they still try to improve and make the best song ever. And it's sort of the same with the bikes.
Okay. Generally, how long does each bike take from that concept to finished product?
Most bikes actually take like a year or even more.
Wow.
Because it's quite the process, especially when you're trying to source prototype parts and stuff like this. And then of course there's plenty of work hours on some of them. So on some projects there's like 200 work hours to get all the tuning and modification and paint jobs and whatever. So it's time consuming, but it's obviously worth it. So now my biggest challenge in life is to find the time and balance to ride more again.
Okay. Well, I love your work. I'm a big admirer, and I love that you're pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Because lots of bikes these days look the same, but yours don't look the same. They show what is possible with some imagination. So
really appreciate it. Kind words. Thanks a lot.
So look what I found, Chris.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, I see you. Well, I meet you finally.
Exactly.
Not across the internet.
No,
YouTube
I know.
Barrier. So we're in Frankfurt for Eurobike. Your first time here. Halfway through the first day, first impressions.
I'm terrified, Dave. Absolutely terrified.
It's just bikes and bike people.
It's just it's quite overwhelming. Like Shane warned me that this was a full-on experience, and it really is, because you walk around, you see all the brands that you sort of know and you've seen before, but you don't really know what to do, how to interact with them. Couple on the fact that there's obviously a little bit of a language barrier every now and again. Yes. You deal with different parts of the world. I'm lost at this point, Dave, so that's why I'm trying to find other people who might know what they're doing and go from there.
Well, are you come here with any sort of like stuff you want to see, or are you just open-minded to what's going to be here and take it as it comes?
So, long story short, there's a couple of brands that I've sort of picked out that I would like to go and see. Like ones that I don't normally get to see, like Dare, Simplon, those sort of ones. Not necessarily the Shimano's, the SRAMs, brands. Even though we're standing around SRAM now. But just those kind of brands, because from my perspective, I kind of feel like they're the people who, you know, I can talk to and maybe have a little bit of an interaction with. So that's I suppose, that part of the game plan.
Okay, well, I hope it goes well.
Thank you, Mark.
I hope you find your feet in a huge exhibition centre as Eurobike, and it's not that bad.
Thank you. Look out, Shane. This is what happens. And so now you're professional. Look at that.
If you want a bike for speed, then how about this from Dare? An aero bike with some cool features. Let's dive in and take a closer look. So, brand new bike. What is it? Why is it? And when's it coming out?
This is coming out in a couple of weeks. It's the Dare VA, Velocity Ace. And the team Uno X has started to use this bike now. They started to use it in March. And it's the same frame that Magnus Kort won the stage in Dauphiné with. So it's a complete new aero bike. We have gone quite radical on this. It's big shapes and big tubes and everything for speed. And it's a collaboration between Dare and Uno X. So this is a team edition, and it's Eleanor Barker's first race bike.
And this is an extra small.
Extra small, yeah.
And around here we have a size medium.
Yeah, this is like a limited edition frame from Dare. So this is size medium. That's the same size as Jonas Abrahamsen was using now when he has both the polka dot and the green jersey in the Tour de France.
That's a deep head tube, that is.
Yeah.
So right up against the UCI's
Yeah.
rules.
Yeah. Also, you can see the new handlebar. We are also pushing the limits and yeah, we have read the UCI regulations quite quite in
Closely.
detail. Yeah.
So a lot more aero than your last model.
A little bit more aero, yeah. If you compare the VSRU, that was the last model, it's it's in a sprint, potential bunch sprint, it's like at least one bike length faster in the same effort.
Okay. What about weight? Have you focused on weight, or is it just aero?
It's mostly aero, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have a lightweight bike in your range, or this is the main bike you're putting your riders on?
The men's team are riding these bikes like 95% of the races, but we have 2 riders on the team. Tobias Johannessen, he did actually yesterday the stage when they were passing Galibier, was it? Yeah, on a new bike that is also coming soon.
Not here at Eurobike.
Not here, dude.
So-
Yeah, but last year at when he was first on the top of Tourmalet, he was using the MA AFO model that we have in the corner there. But no, not this one, the green one.
Oh, that one there, okay, yeah.
So that's the lightweight bike, but we choose to focus on the aerodynamics and yeah, this is Uno-X weapon. So
Apart from the handlebar and the mad head tube, any other stand-up details?
it's more it's better tire clearance, and it's a complete new bike. So it also have some different features. Yes, another seat post system, and yeah, basically aero machine.
And not available yet, but soon.
Soon.
Watch your space. On the Enve stand, we have a actual team race bike, UAE Emirates Colnago V4RS, not a replica, actual race bike. And the new Enve Aero one-piece handlebar and stem, not yet in production, but soon, I'm told. Very long stem indeed. Hoods angled in. Are they UCI legal? I'm not sure. And on this bike, Enve SES 6.7 wheels. And check out the carbon tie chainrings, carbon fiber. How snazzy do they look on a Dura-Race power meter equipped crankset. Also on the Enve stand, we have this amazing custom painted Melee, 1 of 50, and this is number 1. The paint job looks sensational under these lights, and a colour match stem and handlebar as well. Built up, of course, with a SRAM red AXA group set. Way out my budget though, $15,000. So if you're feeling flush, you win the lottery, this is definitely a bike I would recommend. It's not a new bike, but the Orbea Orca OMX is definitely a highlight of the show. Their super lightweight, non-aero road bike launched last year, but actually the first time I've seen one in the flesh, and it does look pretty cool, especially in this colourway. So we've got super skinny, non-dropped rear stays. Interesting way that the stays bridge onto the top tube with a seat clamp underneath this rubber flap here. Just there. So quite interesting design with that sort of kink there. Very flat, tapered top tube. So very sculptured head tube. Full internal routing, of course. We have a Vision one-piece aero handlebar and stem, so some aero at the front. And then a super skinny fork. Very, very slender indeed. But a big chunky down tube. Really oversized down to that bottom bracket, which of course is press fit. And yeah, that's a good looking bike. That's a bike I definitely want to ride. Looks really cool. Now, if you really want to go fast, you need a time trial bike like this. Giant is showing a new Trinity, not launched yet, still a development prototype bike, but it looks pretty damn quick. Now, I'm no time trial fan, but if I was, it's definitely a bike I would be considering. Looks super fast, now has disc brakes. Let's have a closer look. So the last Trinity was launched in 2015, so that current bike is pretty old, and this bike has loads of changes. Number 1, of course, we now have disc brakes, but look at the tube profile. This fork is so deep, and that head tube is so deep as well, but then really, really thin as well. That profile is so skinny, and the fork is moved out from the wheel, so I can fit my hand between the wheel and the fork there. And also at the back, the rear stays, loads of space down there. Look at that. Maximum aero, but then really skinny from behind. That profile is so slender, and that seat post. But then we have what appears to be a new base bar, new one-piece carbon base bar with horrible grippy tape, and a very familiar looking extensions. That's a very current trend right now with that sort of look, and the armrest pads there. Plenty of adjustability by the looks of it with a height. Di2 shifters, Dura-Race and Cadex 4-spoke wheel in the front, and a Cadex disc on the back, running a Dura-Race group set with a massive chainring, a 56-44 chainring combo in the front, and of course an aero water bottle. So very slippery, very fast, very impressive indeed. And next to it is a Giant Propel, an actual team bike. Very cool paint job that, with some cool slogans like "Full Send Baby," "The Gambler," and "Master of Patience." That is a cool looking bike. Interestingly on this bike though, not a one-piece handlebar and stem like you might expect, but a two-piece, still aero, but two-piece, so easy to change. And look how long that stem is, 130mm. Super long, and Cadex wheels on this bike too, with carbon fibre spokes. Very snazzy. Of course, Giant launched TCR a few months ago, which we've all seen, I've ridden, but I'll give you a quick look at the models on display here. So we have a TCR Advanced Pro Zero with Access Force group set on it. And over here, the top of range model that I rode, the SL with Dura-Race Di2, and a very nice paint job on this. I'm liking the paint finishes on Giant bikes these days. They are doing a nice job with the colours and the finish, and does look very, very nice indeed. So Advanced SL with the seat mast, and the Pro Zero, which gets a normal seat post, and that's a nice paint finish as well. Real kind of sparkly, pearlescent finish. To show how much carbon goes into a frame, they have this cool display that shows all the individual pieces cut into the sizes and shapes needed to make a entire frame. So you can see probably there the dropout. I have no idea what that bit does. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, a 270-piece jigsaw puzzle, but harder than any puzzle I've ever made in my life. I mean, where does that go? Probably down tube, yeah, I don't know. Interesting. If you need a bit of assistance these days, then they do a Giant Defy with a motor built into the rear hub. And apart from the bigger, fatter down tube, it doesn't look that much different to a regular Defy. Looks pretty cool, I reckon. Nice paint job, cool parts. So that is an interesting option in the growing e-road segment, which is not really taking off in the UK yet. I think the speed limit definitely is a restriction on that sort of take up. But no, in the US they have a higher speed limit, so probably a good option if you want an e-road bike. I'm on the Shimano stand, and we have one of their iconic blue neutral support teams. You'll see these in a race like the Tour de France, following the peloton, there to offer spare wheels or a spare bike if a rider can't get serviced by their own team. So the car in question is a Skoda Octavia Estate, which I'm a fan of, used to have one. And on the top, on the rack, we have 3 bikes, and they are Canyon Ultimate bikes, painted blue because Shimano's corporate colour is blue. And one cool detail are the dropper seat posts on each bike to accommodate different height riders. Shimano Dura-Race, of course, as you would expect, and Shimano SPD SL pedals. So very cool bikes, but one nightmare, one headache for any neutral support service is all the different group sets and pedals and bikes and rotor sizes on the disc brakes in the World Tour. Lots of different variables and configurations. So to help them, they have a spreadsheet here which they are displaying, which shows all the teams, all the bikes and the riders and their preference for group sets and pedals and rotor sizes, I guess to try and help them ensure they have a spare bike. So if they hear that a rider needs servicing, they can look at the spreadsheet and see what bike they're on and give them the right wheel or the right bike. It's not something you often see being used by riders because they have their own team that serves them with spare wheels or bikes, but occasionally you do, and often with comical results as the rider can't get on the bike, it's too big or too small and the pedals don't work. But I'm sure there are occasions when the neutral support has saved the rider in that moment of need. The bike from Unbound definitely needs a wash. Look how dusty it is. But actually, I reckon it looks pretty cool. Check out this retro Raleigh. That looks cool. Got the Manitou carbon fork on the front. Shimano triple chain set. Remember the triples, guys? And a Dior XT rear mech. That looks cool. That is a funky looking bike. No dropper seat post, no disc brakes, no technology at all. That is pretty cool. Anyway, that's the latest video from Eurobike 2024. I'm going to grab a bite to eat and I'll carry on filming some of the best, coolest, maddest bikes on display here at the show in Frankfurt. But thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, hit that button down below. I'll see you all again very soon.